Assalamu alaikum and hello everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays with Dr. T. This is Dr. T, and today we have one of my favorite person on the earth. She's my best friend and she's also my work colleague. She's a coach who has been working with us for about 6 or 7 months now, or maybe a year if we add Tahrim in the situation. So we are going to talk about Tahrim as well. So the intention for today's episode is this. I have been mostly just sharing myself, my views, what I see and hear and do inside the academy, our Autism Success Academy. But I decided that for you guys to understand how we do things, why those why those structures, protocols, mindset, and all of those things that we include really does work, and how the coaches that we have got inside us to work with us, to be our support team, to be the best, how to say, like a vessel for autism success. And for you to also get to know them a little better, get to be connected with them, and also ask your questions. So I'm going to make this like a series, inshallah, because I feel like for you guys to understand what exactly goes in as part of your child's recovery, as part of your child's brain development, there has to be the 5 pillars, right? And the first one that we say as the first pillar of autism success is mindset and emotional stability of the mother. You know why? Because if the mother, because the mother is the big vessel, she is the ship, and the child is just the, how to say, like staying on the vessel, right? And waiting for to go, because the child cannot make decisions. Your child, whether he is neurotypical or neurodiverse, cannot make the decision. You as the parent is the one who's making the decisions. And we are going to talk a little bit of, I want Lynn to write a little bit on this. We want to talk about how energy and our own vibration, our own emotions, our own frequency affects our kid, like really affects our kid. Because I keep on saying that, and as long as the students inside the program, they understand it, they emulate that, life gets really rocking for them. And they were like, I thought mindset was bullshit. But after understanding you and after doing Lynn's classes, Lynn's sessions, I am a staunch believer that we should always work on our mindset. So yeah, here's presenting Lynn. How about you introduce yourself, where you stay, what you do, how you are certified, everything.
Absolutely. And thank you, Dr. Tesnuva, my bestie. We have been very close and working on a lot of things together for a couple years now. And it just is starting to come into the Autism Success Academy. I'm Lynn. I actually live in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. And I own a company called Life, LYF, which is Love You First, which was actually my personal journey, learning that everything that I had been giving out, everything I was giving out, I was very upset because it wasn't coming back in. And I didn't realize I was draining myself by giving to everyone so much of myself and not filling myself first. So this all started about 5 years ago. I ended up going to seek out a life coach, someone to help me put my thoughts in place and teach me how to life coach. And boy, did I get a lesson. I got a lesson in Lynn. And I actually got really excited about going into the darker spaces of me and finding joy in my life finally at 43 years old. I'm now 48. So that is where I opened up to then attending the Intention Academy and learning and taking, actually I was learning the trauma healing at the same time as going through it. So it was very intense. But I was up for the challenge because I knew something had to be better out here. And so I got certified in inner child trauma healing hypnosis. And at the same time, I got certified in neuro-linguistic programming, which is also the like psychology of movement and connection of our minds to how we see things or how we relate to everything and other people. I also then fell in love with energy healing, Reiki energy healing. I had my first session 5 years ago, and the weight that came off my back, my shoulders dropped, my life started to move more. I started to open up more, and expand and just feel life instead of just living every day. So I pursued and got trained and certified as a master in Asui Reiki and Sophia Reiki and Karuna Reiki, which are all different forms that have different symbolism that all work on your energy. Um, and for anybody out here that doesn't know what energy healing is inclusive of, it's the alignment of the chakras. Every human being, every animal, probably everything in the world has a chakra system. And when things start to come at us from childhood, from past ancestry, in the everyday world right now, we tend to hold these things in our energetic system. And I can go on a deep thing, but that's not for today. But basically, it's an alignment that gets yourself back into a feeling that you are capable, you are powerful, and you are able to navigate through some of the dark spots that maybe are going on at the moment. It frees up that energy in that space to allow you to feel more like yourself or transform and not be afraid to do that so that you can be more yourself and who you're becoming. Um, I also am a spiritual intuitive, so I connect in with Allah and the energy of universe, which then gives me insight as to bring better messages forward to people that I'm working with so that they can see and feel the energy and the power of being able to take back yourself. Um, I do 2 classes per month so far here with Autism Academy. And there are 2 clearing sessions, which is basically a hypnosis slightly to take and allow you to drop down into a comfortable space where you can then start to look at certain emotions and beliefs that you've held that probably aren't yours. Because, like you were saying, our children follow our lead, just like we followed the lead of our parents or their grandparents or the influential people around us. Autism is a superpower. It's not,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not, it's not detecting or taking back from anything. It actually, to me, is a more aligned way to just be you. The thing is that they need guidance. And that's where moms and the dads and everybody come in. And that's where the frustration, I believe, starts with a lot of parents, is because we're not in that world. We don't understand that world and we're trying our hardest. But how do you place yourself in a place that is so different from the world you see if you're chalked up and you're full of all of these other things that are in your energy, they're in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
You're navigating your own world, trying to figure out, is this really true for me? I seen something different. Is this, it's all these questions. Well, when we work together for your mindset, it allows you to bring yourself to a space where you can start to navigate your own mindset and recognize what actually feels good and what is possible versus staying in the I can't, I'll never, this will never change. It's like a victimhood sort of idealism of life. And that's not why we're here. That's not why we're here. We're
No,
here to
no.
navigate that.
We're about empowering every single autism mom to be their best version so that they could help their child achieve their best freedom and success.
Yes. And in that, clearing certain thoughts and ideas and energies gives us the space to find out who we really are.
I want to add something to that. So,
Yes.
a lot of the time our students actually ask, like, there are times when there will be like pauses and plateaus and nothing much happening, and then there were, and since I was the starting of that journey, I did that myself. My son was on the spectrum. He's still on the spectrum. I'm not saying he just went off the spectrum. He is undiagnosed with anything as compared to autism or neurodiversity. But I know that he's on the spectrum. I know that he has certain different traits which are so adorable, which makes him, like, unique, and which does not create any hindrance for his progress. So as long as your child has any um how to say, like, behavior, symptom, attitude, thoughts that is not hampering your child's regular life, that is not hampering your child's ability to achieve success, to get their full potential reach, then I think that that click or that symptom is not really that serious to be really dealt on. Anyways, what I wanted to say was I was going through some plateaus with Muhammad at certain point. Okay, when I started the journey, there were like 8 months, 1 year, 1.5 year, everything was doing good. I mean, okay. I do say that healing does not come in linear pattern. Healing is always up and down, right? But I didn't know that it was up and down, up and down. I was thinking like, okay, so he reached his speech like 2 words, and he is a little bit of social, but that's it. There was nothing much happening, and it was just going on and on. And I felt like, even though everybody around me is saying you have done your best, Muhammad has done his best, and he is achieving, like, we never expected that he would even speak, because that's what the speech therapist told us. But then he's just okay, just let him be. But I was like, no, there is a lot more potential rich. So what do I do? I could not understand how to overcome that. But what I did was through the Intention Academy. I found that through a business coach. Okay. And then as I was building up the coaching practice, I had to go through the Intention Academy, and I was going through my own inner child healing. Oh my gosh. Within the 3 month of the inner child healing and whatnot, Muhammad started full-fledged communication and being not shy, because shyness was a lot of my own problem, my own pattern. Okay, not being able to speak out, not being able to put the light, like, be in the spotlight. I was very much, like, how to say, shriveled inside. As I was blooming outside of my zone, I saw Muhammad blooming himself as well. And I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is connected. So that's when I started bringing out the Intention Academy, based on the trauma healing, all of those things inside the program. And previously I used to facilitate, but then as we are growing more, and I wanted everybody to have the best. So I believe Lynn is 100 times better of a trauma healer than me. That's why I brought her on, because she has all the certifications. She has even lived in experience. She has gone through all of those things, and she has been working with our students. So one thing, you have done one big Reiki fest with one of our students, one of our kids, right, Tahrim? How was your experience? What did you see, based on energy healing and Reiki, and when you worked intensively with one-on-one with Tahrim? And he's on the spectrum, by the way, everybody.
First, I love Karim, and his mother and father were so open and just beautiful energy. They just loved Tarim so much. They wanted to make sure he was doing his best with everything he was trying to accomplish. And they had some setbacks, sleeping problems, screaming and acting out and stimming. And this was my first, we did it online. They're in New York, I believe. And it was very hard to get Tarim to sit still on a couch with the camera there, but I said, just let him move because energy will work. And working with him, there were some beautiful moments that had happened. It was a couple months that I worked with him. I believe it was once a week for a couple months. And he would go into those stages where it was either he would plateau and be very calm and there was really no movement. So it was very simplistic for the session. And then there would be times where he was literally screaming for the entire hour, and his father was trying to calm him, and we're sending energy so that he could get back into alignment. Because you know best, and the moms on here, that it could be the smallest things that can set off a stim or set off a scream fest or set off something with them banging their head or trying to do things that are not so pleasing at the moment when you're trying to go through your day. But working with him and his energy, it was beautiful. And there was movement that was made for him, that I'm really proud of him. He was starting to sleep better. He was starting to get calmer. His days weren't all the same where he would go off at a certain time and so on and so forth. Very beautiful child, very beautiful family. And
Yeah.
inshallah, I hope that they're still doing very well right now. But that was an amazing experience to be able to work with one of your children in the academy. And
Yeah.
thank you for letting me do that.
You're welcome. We usually, what we do is we just work with the mother, and then we help, we behave as if she is the main vessel, and then we work through the trauma healing through her. Because I am a little, I was a little, and am sometimes still very conscious about making choices that will not be harming any of the child. So what we do all the time, the first thing that we make sure is safety, and Reiki is 100% safe. And Reiki is, like Lynn already said, like it is a vessel, a vehicle through which we work through the energy, but we make sure that the whole system is actually safe in itself.
Can
But
I say
because
something?
we are work, yeah, sure.
I'm sorry. Just as you're saying that, I want people to know, like, one of the main, we'll say, rules or things that we learn and when you begin Reiki is that Reiki does no harm.
Mhm.
There's no harm that can come through Reiki. It is your own energy. It's a practitioner becoming a conduit. I am the conduit. I am the one that the energy passes through and goes. Um, so there's no, there's nothing that it can harm. There's nothing it can do to hurt someone. Looking at someone right now, me and you looking at each other here, that is an energy exchange.
Yep.
So how
Yep.
I feel when you are here, when you feel how you look at me, that is a perception and a projection off of us in our minds, but the energy is still as it is. So that's
Mhm.
the easiest way to show how energy moves and works. And we're not hurting each other by connecting energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we usually fear things that we have no idea on or experience with. That's why we are like, oh my God, it's going to be harmful. Because that's our, I would say, that's our 1,000 million-year-old way of the brain wiring, like protection first,
Hmm.
protection first, which is why even though a woman is being beaten like really severely by her husband, she chooses to stay with that man because getting beaten by that person is comfortable, is known. She knows how it feels, but she doesn't know how it feels to be happy.
Yeah.
That's how much the brain affects a human being's choices, which is why we do the inner healing, the trauma healing work, because I have understood it was easier for me to make all the choices, stand up for myself, tell no to the people who's offering chips and, junk food to my kids because I was doing the inner work,
Yeah.
because my energy was in perspective, because I knew that this is far more important, and I had that courage inside my energy. So yeah, I was not always a courageous person, by the way. And I have found that the inner work, the energy healing, and all of those things actually help us to connect with our spirits, which is in itself the highest version of ourselves. Am I
And
right?
can I say something as well too? The main function of what we're talking about here too is mindset. So anything that you step into and you say, I don't trust it, it's not going to work, I don't trust that person. Your mind is encased then in a specific way, a specific thing. It must be. It's a control factor, and when you don't open your mind it's kind of like if you don't open your blinds to outside and everything is dark, you won't know there's light out there. And that light
Mm-hmm.
will actually be healing and good for you. But if you choose, it's a choice to stay in a space where you just want it this way, specific, this, and this, life has so much more to like kind of offer and things to like light you up and allow you and your child to connect better and allow your family to connect better. Just going back really quick, I was thinking when we were talking about Tarim, there was at one point where Tarim and his mother and his father were both on the couch and they were open and I did a session on all three of them. And the amazement of the father looking around and mom looking kind of like, what was that? It was that lightness that came off of them. And if they weren't open to that, they would have never experienced that.
Exactly. Exactly. I have
So,
a segue question here.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned something that we I don't know, like we get fearful. I want you to shed a little bit light on how to know if this is your ego and fear asking you to not take the step, or this is your gut instinct, because we confuse the heck out of both of them. Yeah.
Ego, I like a little term for ego, is easing God out or easing a lock out, meaning that um, there is an amazing power that when we just relax and kind of open up to and surrender into certain decisions that we make, you're going to have fear with anything that's new. Without, you're not just going, woo. If you do, amazing. But knowing the difference between your gut feeling and between that ego working, the ego will always come and throw messages or ideas or other people that may come around you that are messengers that are sent from elsewhere that are negating the idea that you felt at first in your heart. You'll feel it when you know, you'll feel in your heart, you'll be like, this feels like it could be a breath of fresh air. And then we go into we call it the reptile or the monkey brain thinking, where we go,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and when you start creating reasons in your head why something won't work or something isn't good, or you got to remember you're pulling from a place of that fear. If you're not feeling in your heart, like, I love my child, I love the fact that there is something and an opportunity for me to see if I can get even closer and understand more about my child and myself. If you don't see that and you don't feel that, then that definitely is your ego pulling you when something is presented that makes sense and has
Mm-hmm.
a proven record of helping. We are all different. We all need different things. Some of us need more help. I noticed that a lot of women in the clearings, they are going through certain things, mostly frustration, and the frustration comes, they think, from the external.
Mm-hmm.
It's really,
Always.
we always want to blame outside, and that's why I formed this company, is because I always thought it was someone else. And what it was is me not surrendering to my heart to want to give more love to the people around me and receive it, and be open to trying an energy healing, being open to trying an intention academy, being open to trying to connect with people that I would never probably meet in my life, because people are all over the world that we work with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If
I want to add
you
something to that. I want to add something to that, which helps me. So even recently, I went to the Hoffman process, and I would say the first breakthrough I had in my life was with Intention Academy. But the deepening, the most deepening of all of the things, and the most amount of real, tangible, very fast change happened through the Hoffman, because it was 7 to 9 days of full in, like one-to-one connection with the teachers, which, remember, I was saying that in future we're going to have a retreat version of ourselves, because I went to this and I understood how impactful a one-to-one session is. So I learned from the teachers there also, and I completely agree with that. When you face a question, so for example, should I join Dr. T and her team for my child's progress and success? There will be a lot of fear. Oh my gosh, that's a high ticket offer, that's high investment. What if she fails? What if I fail? What if the child fails? What if it doesn't work? My husband is gonna be blaming me, my in-laws is gonna blaming me. So many things we keep on saying, right? That is fear. The difference between fear and gut is this: gut instinct is light, it's gentle, it whispers, it never shouts at you. Gut instinct never shouts at you, it just says like a breath of air. But your
Mhm.
fear, oh my God, Dr. T, you should not try this, you should not try that, this is where that person is going to harm you, this is going to do that, the voice, it's going to be very loud, which is why you need to sit down, get your energy sorted, like really calm down, and then ask yourself, should I join this, should I do this, even for choosing like a breakfast, even for breakfast, do it. try this on yourself so that you start toning your muscle of using your intuition rather than the fear voice. What do you think? Do you have anything to add to that?
Well, you know what, when the basis of why you're making a decision or even talking to you about your academy, we'll say as a client coming in, the basis of it is love. You're doing it for love. And like Reiki, it can do no harm. Failure to me is redirection. Excuse me.
Like,
It's
all the
redirect.
time.
So if it's not working, then you redirect. And we have plenty of um, people here that can be redirected to, that have different aspects of what they can do to help you. So if this isn't working, there is another channel. And as long as you're willing.
As long as you are willing. And what we say is, because the protocol was built for my son, and it was built by a mother, not by a doctor or by a neurotypical person. It was built by a neurodiverse for another neurodiverse, understanding the psychology, the physiology and everything. So, and also with the, with me going through the whole thing with my son, helping him overcome his struggles and whatnot, and correlating with my own experience as, as a child, as an adult, as a youngsters and whatnot, I have tried to tweak and balance and add in more things and delete the things that were probably not working or are more older. We are always reinventing our programs. We are always adding new things to make sure that when I'm saying that this is the most complete protocol that you can have out there, it is the most complete protocol out there. Because even though I don't like to be a perfectionist, but I wanted my protocol to be perfection as much as it's possible. So if I see something is not working for a student, I always go in and we customize, we add things, we subtract things, we go through everything so that we can. So what we are doing for the upcoming 2025 is we are going to have one-to-one sessions with Lynn. So students who are going to join 6MD, they're going to have as bonus one-to-one sessions with Lynn's, a couple of them, or maybe 3 or 4, depending on, the need of that parent. And also depending on whether you are doing the one-time payment or going through the payment process and whatnot. More on that will be coming later, but I wanted you guys to know that you're going to have one-to-one session with her, who's going to sit with you and your husband and go through your inner stuff. Because it's a lot like you put on a lot of dirty dishes inside your, what is that thing called? Dishwasher.
Sure.
But you are scared to switch on because of the sound that it's going to create, because of the water it's going to take, because of the electricity that it's going to burn. You are like, okay, I'm going to clean my shit later on. But
Yeah.
these dirty dishes affects and impacts how your kitchen runs.
Everything.
Totally. Totally.
Mm.
So I know you're pressed with time. I want to add, how do you help our students? Like what sort of sessions that you take through them? What sort of clearings, like we use the word clearing? Just tell others like what we do and how you do that.
Well, the main thing that I just heard when you said, how do I help the students? It's actually the moms right now. And we're going to be doing one for the husbands and fathers coming up in
Oh
2 weeks.
yeah, I am so excited for that.
They show up. Please show up, guys. Because
Inshallah.
it is the spectrum is not just for the child, it's a spectrum for the family. And it also then takes a lot of weight off of moms when they know someone else is also engaged. Tell me that's not true.
Yeah.
And engaged in the fact of healing, not just being there and, like interacting, but actually feeling what they're interacting with. But what we do right now with the students is we do twice a month. There is hypnosis clearings for emotions and beliefs, and hoping to in 2025 start doing the one-on-one sessions. Also bring any type of energy healing sessions that may be needed, or if somebody wants to attempt to try it for themselves or for the children. Because like we had said, the mom is the main connection cord to that child. The umbilical cord is attached to your child their entire growth period, and it gets snipped when they come out. But did we not realize that that energy doesn't ever leave us and it doesn't leave them? So that,
Third rule of thermodynamics, or first rule, I'm totally bungling it up, but I know this is the rule of thermodynamics. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It just changes from one form to another.
and that connection is always going to be moving back and forth. And since a child, we watch everything as a child, we absorb everything as a child, we create from what we're given. And if us as parents are coming from a place where we don't have any more to give because we're so frustrated and all this other, then it's at a point where doing a program like this, where you are helping your child through diet, through mindset, through energy, through protocols, is handling that portion, we'll say, of the system. But where are you? Because we always ask that question, where am I in this? Where am I? You want the help, but the thing is the help is always going to come from within you.
Mm-hmm.
And we forget about that.
Always.
So we show you with mindset and clearing this energy and allowing you to realize how much you are the dishwasher, you are the water, you are the electric, you are everything needed. It's just that you forgot how to work for a little bit. We're going to bring that back so that your child then will be watching and emulating the energy and everything that mom and dad have, so that it's a smoother transition from what's going on to, okay, it's nice now for a little bit, but then we go back to nice again, because that's how life is. It is that roller coaster. It's not linear. If it was, how boring would that be though?
That would be very boring. That would be
Yes.
very boring indeed. I want to add one thing to that because I think it helps with the perspective as well. So, for example, you woke up this morning and then you are our student. You know the protocol. You know what you're supposed to feed your child and whatnot. You woke up this morning, your emotional part, your emotional self or emotional child is feeling like depressed. It doesn't want to go anywhere. It doesn't want to cook. It doesn't want to do anything. It just wants to just sit somewhere and do nothing. Okay. Before joining the program, you would not know how to spunk out of your depression, how to not connect to your emotional child, how to not resource your emotional child and listen to her or give her priority. Because when you don't give your emotional child priority, what happens is she takes on the reign of your life and she makes you go through all the decisions that ends up you ordering pizza.
Pizza's not good.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Pizza's not as good. If you
Cauliflower.
make it with cauliflower, and homemade, like home cooked chicken and not pepperoni and not those processed meat and lots of vegetables, yes, pizza can be healthy as well. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is, so when you have the resource, when you understand, okay, so I'm going through this, but I am also convicted and committed to my child's progress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to understand what my needs are today for my emotional child. And then I'm going to learn how to balance the responsibility and also myself, like taking care, self-care, and then also caring for my child. That is the beauty of the mindset work. When you then decide, okay, I need to just, I need my own space, good, but so does my child. And I have the emotional capacity to cook something fast and snappy because we have a lot of recipes and things inside the program. So I'm going to choose one that is very easy to do. Cook something for the day, put it in the fridge or put it on the counter, and then take my alone time off or go through my inner work and things like that. That is the difference day in, day out. Because when you start healing your child, whether you are inside our program or not, doesn't matter. You are my community. So you need to learn this. Every single decisions that you take adds up to your child's progress for the next month, next year, next week, today even. So that is the beauty and importance of the mindset. Because when we understand our needs and we connect to our emotional child, we give her what she needs, that only we can make the decisions of helping others. Do you know where resentment builds? Resentment builds in you trying to please everybody and never trying to please yourselves. And then you get angry at your child, you hit your child, you scream at your child, you beat your child. I did that 5 years ago. I was there, so I know it happens. It happens because I was not taking care of myself. I was not eating better. I was not taking the rest. I was Netflixing when I was supposed to, when I should have slept or taken a nap. Yeah. Me deciding to Netflix was that it was in my head. Oh, I don't have entertainment. So Netflix is my entertainment. I need entertainment. But if I had listened to my body, which was screaming for sleep, the next day I would not be in a thunderous mood. I would have been better, and my mood would have been easier. So that's the kind of work Lynn helps us. Lynn will help you. Lynn helps our students to understand that how their emotions affects their decision making, and how those decision makings affect the autism success
In a very, very realistic way, absolutely.
in a
Because I don't
very, very realistic way.
go into,
Exactly.
well, the book says this is what life does. And when you understand how life flows and it's your life, you then can understand how to move that wave of energy so that it flows your way.
Exactly. Okay. So let's wrap up today's session. I want you, because we're gonna bring you more on, okay? We are gonna bring you more on. You're gonna have an opportunity to speak in one of our upcoming webinar. So for those of you, I have decided, actually we means I mostly, but I love to use the word we because I don't want to sound as a pompous.
You're not pompous.
No, whatever. So what I'm doing is this December and mid-January through 18th December to 18th or 15th January, I am gonna open our YLD, which is our year-long diploma, which is the economic version of 6MD, which is the business class. Okay, so if you are on a plane, business class is 6MD, and YLD is the economy class. Both the business class and the economy class will reach the destination, but the experience will be a little different based on how much you are how to say investing. So the reason why we started the YLD last year was from the thought to help more parents who could not join 6MD because of the price point. And YLD is going to be as little as $247 per month. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's that affordable. It is that cheaper. Many of you guys who's listening, that's just 10 medium pizza, I think. That's 10 medium pizza price of a 10 medium pizza.
Say
Or
something.
it's, yeah, sure.
So just because this is another factor of mindset. So everyone's heard of the lack mindset.
Mm-hmm.
What I want people to do right now is just take a breath before they finish listening to you. And I want you to imagine that the money that's in your hand, that's in your bank, that's in this world, it's all ours. It's just paper or coin, right? The energy of what you can do with that tool can create long lasting joy, understanding, love, more happiness, more time and freedom, more health. So look at that paper and those coins in your hand again and think about what you're actually taking and putting your bet, we'll say, on, and what you're using that paper for, and see how priceless that can be in the long run. Because if we come from a place of I don't have, then you will not. Because
You made up the
universe,
decision already. You said you don't have, means you don't want. Okay.
and that's what will be provided to you. But if you give yourself an option or a chance to understand that money is a tool, just like a spatula to flip a potato pancake. Why so serious? Allow yourself to make a decision that's based on your heart and allow yourself to move into more healing for your family and for your child, and
Mhm.
do it with a system and an academy that actually brings all of this energy into you. It's not just for you, it's for you, it's for your husband, it's for your child, it's for your other children, it's for your friends. Because when you start to change, your child starts to change, everyone around you starts to kind of.
Exactly. It starts with us. It starts with me.
So I know
Totally.
price, a main point that I looked at price. I know you did too. We spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on my education, but my God, the freedom and the joy that I have now.
Unparalleled.
Anyway, so I have what I've needed out of life, and I'm continuing to get it because I have the tool set to add to that original tool that I used. So just,
Mhm.
for people to have a view of money and lack, and where you come from in a different view. Um,
We should have a session very soon on how people, the analytics of money and how we can, the mindset of money, and help
mhm.
maybe our parents to understand a little bit better on how to budget. Because I was there in your shoe right now, 5 years ago, single income family, barely above poverty line, barely above poverty line. But whatever money that my husband was bringing in, I found a way to spend about $500 every month for my son. And the same amount of money, it didn't increase. I also I also made sure that I was saving for the future as well.
And
So
that's something
nothing
that's
changed.
something we
Yeah,
can
the
we
amount of money didn't change. What changed was how I was budgeting it, how I was categorizing and prioritizing them, how I
yes.
was stretching my dollars, how I was making sure I got more bang for my buck, how I was shopping, how I was making meals, how I was not buying ready-made things, how I was buying everything from scratch and things like that. Okay, we are going to teach everything for YLD. I'm going to have master classes where I'm going to teach you guys how to budget, how to make sure you have organic, healthier food in just $300 per month. So all of those languages, all of those strategies and tools will be there for you. And the reason why we started, like I said, was because to help those parents who, even if they really try, maybe cannot arrange the 5,000 US dollars, but can definitely try the 247. So here's the thing. I have already published our one of our first YLD students testimony. And after her testimony was when I actually decided that yes, both the economy, YLD, and the 6MD are going to go to the same direction. The success is going to be same, equally opportunized for both the program. It's how you go through the program. So for example, those who are in the business class, they check in faster. Yeah. They get out faster. They get their luggage faster. They're like fast, fast, fast. What do us economy? I still travel economy, by the way. So what do? We wait for them to go through their channels and things. We patiently wait because we want to save the money, or we want to go to that destination with the resources that we have currently available. Okay. So we are going to have so much more fun for the YLD, and it's not going to be available year long. It will only be available from 18th of December until about 15th of January 2025. Why? Because we want to make sure that all the students starts together and goes through all the month together. So it will be like a full-on cohort. Usually for 6MD, you can join anytime you want. The process is there. But for YLD, we go in step by step, monthly wise. So you're going to have all of those access and everything. And please check the description under the video. I'm going to leave a link for you to freely register, to register for free for our upcoming YLD launch party, where Lynn will also be there, and she's going to help us understand why we should budget and understand money and money mindset and things like that, so that you could very comfortably make the decision. And just like Maria, just like oh, what others? So there are lots of students in our YLD. I have to go through the because I have over 350 students.
It's
You can
beautiful.
be, you can be Nasra, you can be Maria, you can be Mona, you can be what was the name of that woman? We can be Amel, you can be a lot of us, Fatima, a lot of us who started last year without any speech, without any calmness, without any sleep and whatnot. And their kids are now sleeping, eating healthy, talking, alhamdulillah. And the parents, some of them are going back to their own career and earning money. So now, right now, you might think, I don't have the money, but here's the thing, you have the opportunity to earn more when your child is stable. So you're gonna make the money back, by the way. We ensure that you do. And
Take
yeah.
take a chance on yourself for your child if it's possible and it's feasible to be able to really dream a little bit bigger about what you can do to stretch that tool that you have. And it's
Mhm.
everything, the universe works that way. You put out, it comes back. That's with everything. That's with love, that's with money, that's with light. It's everything. So knowing that as you put out, you will receive because you are open then to receive. And we work on that mindset to make sure you know what open to receive means. It then full circles into all of the things that we really, really wish we had in life, which is peace and joy and happiness. And again, the ability to play.
Mhm. It's actually 11:22 right now, as you are saying that.
11-2-2, double, 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 double.
Double, double, starting, new beginning. So, any last thought you want to say before we wrap up?
You know what? I'm just excited that you brought me on, and the trust that you have for me is amazing, especially with us working together already prior to this. But, you know, life is a journey. And along this journey, along this path, there's lots of twists and turns. And there's some things that we may see as difficult, but there's always somebody that can come and connect in with you and drop the next seed that may allow you to be able to open up and start to grow. And I think that's what autism is really about too, is allowing people to come with the seeds and allow that growth. It may be not as fast or as bold as we may have been, but it's beautiful and it's precious and it's what we do wake up for every day. And when you realize that it's you first that needs to be the one that wakes up in order for the rest of it to run, that is when you understand that spending any amount of time, money, or attention on yourself and your child is always going to be beneficial to you. They always say what goes around comes around. Well, make it good. Make it good.
Mhm.
Take that chance. And
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you for
You're
having.
welcome.
I am so blessed to
Oh,
have
I
you.
am, we are the more blessed one than you. I want to wrap up with one last example. Last year, December, do you remember I was doing Reiki with you and I was this pretty sad and depressed with lots of allergies and very, very frustrated. Like, what's going on, Lynn? Nothing is working.
Are a
Students are
terrible.
not coming. And I didn't tell Lynn that time, but I can tell her now. Even spending those, she's very generous with her time. She charges very, very modestly, which is why we are able to bring her on, and which is that is her life purpose, actually, to make sure that she can help hundreds and thousands of people, of parents, of moms, of women. And even when I was forking out the money for her Reiki session, because I do take Reiki and we have one coming up. Don't
We do.
forget this Thursday. I wish I could do it now, like today.
There
I
you go.
love the session so much. I was actually like thinking like it's a choice between buying this supplement and getting the Reiki. And then I was like, okay, I have to stop my monkey brain. I know my bank balance is pretty much near to zero, but what if the ego is stopping down? What do I need to make
Mhm.
sure that I grow closer to the success that I'm thinking and I need? And my spirit told me you should go for the session. I went for the session. And 3 days after the session, after several months, we had our first 6MD student join in full payment.
Beautiful.
And that solved a lot of my financial troubles. And I was like, if I bought that, if I bought that, if I bought that 150 Canadian dollar worth supplement, I
You'd still
would
be
have felt good. I would have felt good, but that probably wouldn't have made me be aligned with my energy and be able to attract abundance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have never stopped myself from investing in myself and my growth, because not a single penny, dollar, taka that I have spent on myself or my children has ever failed me. Never. If something doesn't work, doesn't mean that that is a waste of money. I learned that that thing is not going to work. So now I can tell you that don't try that supplement. Don't try this treatment. It's not going to work for you, because I tried. Okay. And I can hear, because I'm a little bit intuitive as well, I can hear some of you asking, so what's the guarantee that your program is going to work? Well, first of all, there is no guarantee in the world. You create your guarantee. And I have seen guarantees only coming from God. Nothing in this world is permanent. And God is the only one who's perfect. So there is nothing that is perfect in the world, and you should not go for the perfection. But first of all, we have over 350 people who have before you gone through the program and loved it. We have hundreds of testimonial in the program. We have videos, we have written testimonials. Everybody who has done the work, from top to bottom, have gone through and gotten the result that they wanted. If you start and then you're like, no, this is not for me, I don't want to work, I don't want to cook, I don't want to do my mindset, then you are going to be the 1% who did not get result from the program. But if anybody who started and finished and did everything that I have told, that Lynn is teaching, that all of our coaches are teaching, they always get the results.
There's going to be movement regardless, as long as you put your work into it. There will be
Exactly. And it's not like you have to have your full your child's 100% result through this program only. It could be just getting the first 50%, getting over the breakthrough point. Yeah, you are stuck. Maybe this program is to get you unstuck, to start the journey, to help you and your child reach the 50% goal.
Yeah.
Why do we have to get 100% of all the things that we always invest or work through or go through? I'm not saying our programs do not give 100% result. It gives. If you stick to it for longer than 2 years, it will give you more than 100% results. Okay, all the students who started with me 4 years ago, 5 years ago, all of them who stuck to the protocol, who kept on following that, still are getting results, because you never stop growing. You never stop parenting your child. Your child does not stop developing. It's a lifelong journey. Parenting is a lifelong journey. You never stop being a parent, by the way. Okay. So if you think like, okay, I'm going to join this program, it's a 12-month program or it's a 6-month program, and after that, I don't want to follow anything, then you're not going to be on the journey of development and healing. Okay. All right. So please make sure that you register for the free event upcoming so that you can get the early bird bonuses, and you can learn the top 3 secrets of our success, of how you can emulate that at home DIY. Even if you don't want to join the program, totally fine. It's my way of serving my community. You're going to learn the top 3 secrets of autism recovery and brain development. Okay, if you join the webinar. And in the webinar, you're going to see me and all of our coaches. They're going to come together and do their cameo and teach you guys in real life to know how you can get a level of support that never were present in your life until you joined Autism Success. Look at me. Oh, yeah. So we are here. Lynn is here. We are always here for you. Ask us your questions. We will always help you. And we're going to see you in the next sessions, inshallah. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Bye, everybody.